Got a new fitness journey update for you. Basically, nothing but good news this time. I'm thrilled. The last time I had to report that I was stalled at 247, as you'll recall, if you recall the first video, I mentioned that I had started this journey at 263, but I didn't start doing these videos until I was at 247, basically. And I think the 263 might have even represented a little bit of a loss. I remember going to the doctor and I was at 270, but that was with clothes on, so the 263 might have represented a couple pound loss, but we'll just call it 263. I won't try to tack on anymore. So I had basically lost 16 pounds before I started making these videos, but then between video 1 and 2 I was stuck on 247. So that was disappointing, but we did have the holidays in there, some big meals and stuff. But anyway, without further ado, I am now down at 245. So I've basically lost about 2 pounds in the past, whatever it's been. I think it's just been a week, right? I think I did this last Friday. So I don't include the fractions, so I think I'm actually like 245.6 or something. So it might not have been a full 2 pounds, but we got a long way to go, so I don't think we're going to be quibbling over fractions of pounds in the long run. Absolutely thrilled, though. I did have to tweak the diet. So I started off, I had mentioned this before, but I'm sure most people haven't seen the first video. But I had mentioned that I was starting off with pretty much full fat everything. I was still using whole milk in my protein shakes, and I was still using whole fat cottage cheese, and I was still using whole fat Greek yogurt. And I mentioned that was an area where I could tweak my diet later, because at the time I was losing weight on those. So when I did get stalled at the 247, that's a tweak I had to make, is I've gone down to 1% milk, which I think is the lowest I can go. Skim milk is just disgusting. Like, I might as well just drink water if I'm going to drink skim milk. So I went down to the 1% milk. I went down to 1% cottage cheese, and I went down to, I think it's 2% Greek yogurt. And I went from the flavored Greek yogurt to plain Greek yogurt, and now I'm just putting some vanilla extract and stevia in there. And my lunch for pretty much the past week is I got a bunch of ground turkey. So my lunch has even been a little bit better, I think, because before it was a variety of things, but one of the things I was doing was ground beef, like very lean ground beef, like probably like 96. But with the ground turkey, you can get like 98 or 99, it might be. Lean, not percent lean, so your protein for the calories is even higher with the turkey. I did also add a little bit more cardio. It's winter time, but I'm in Texas, so I can still technically walk, but I started to get bored with the walking because I'm getting into a little bit better shape. So I feel like maybe the walking wasn't really doing it for me anymore. So I started just riding the bike at the gym. So I did 2 sessions in addition to my weightlifting, of course, and my trips to the workout group that I'm in. Again, mentioned that in the first video. I do like 2 times a week. I go to this group workout where it's like circuit training. So it's basically like more of a fat loss thing than a weightlifting thing, but there is like, weightlifting involved in it. And then I'm doing my 3 times a week lifting. And so I added to that 2 sessions of riding the bike at an hour. So it's a lot of work. At my age, I'm not here to BS you. It's tough. I don't eat, like my family gets pizza for dinner and I don't eat it. I pretty much live, like right now, I'm pretty much living on my breakfast. I'll either do egg white French toast or I'll do overnight oats. And then if I do overnight oats, not quite enough protein, so I'll put some protein powder in it. So those are like my 2 breakfast staples. I don't get to eat like bacon and eggs right now. My lunch, like I said, this week has been, all it is I did basically meal prepping. I did a whole bunch of ground turkey with onions and some seasoning, like some taco seasoning I had. And I bought that was another thing I forgot to tell you that I changed from regular cheese to fat-free cheese. So I bought some fat-free cheddar, and I put that on my ground turkey. And that's been my lunch all this week, but in the past, like, I might throw in like a chicken breast sandwich. I'll just air fry a frozen chicken breast, cut it up, and I'll have a sandwich like with some barbecue sauce. And then at night, I will 9 times out of 10 eat what my wife makes because she makes fairly healthy stuff. If it's like if she didn't feel like cooking dinner that night and she got pizza, like I mentioned, happened earlier this week, I just have to make myself something. Or there might be leftovers of a more healthy meal or something that I can have. But I don't eat pizza or anything like that at all. So it's not easy, but we're doing it. I mean, we're now down to almost 20 pounds. I mean, that'll be a huge milestone that we'll go through. The 263 down to 243. We're 2 pounds away. Hopefully next week that's what I can report. The other measurement we're working on, just because I enjoy it, probably not as relevant to a lot of people watching, but the bench pressing. I beat last week. So last week I did 235 for 8 as my top set. This week I did 235 for 9. So I beat it. I beat it by 1 rep. Pretty excited about that. If I do a video next week, I might not have a bench pressing report because I'm starting to get some achy joints, and I think it might be time to take a deload week, which basically means that I'm pretty much going to rest. All I'm going to do is go into the gym just to keep up the habit and do maybe like my warm-up routine for each exercise, and then walk out and hopefully get these joints feeling a little bit better and get back to it. The bicep thing was the other thing. I'm thinking of just cutting the bicep thing because I don't think anyone's too interested in it. And I'm expecting that to go down. I think my bench is probably going to go down too, honestly, if I lose enough weight, which is unfortunate, but it's the reality. But I think my bicep measurement will actually go down while I'm losing weight. But what happened essentially, so I've done 3 bicep measurements. I'm doing it once a month. And my first measurement was like 16 and 3/4 or something like that. And then it actually went up. Like when I first started lifting, muscle memory, you have like a big, pretty big burst of your strength coming back and your muscles coming back and stuff. And so it went up to 17. Well, then this last one that I just did a few days ago, it's stuck on 17, even though I've been like lifting like a madman. So that indicates to me that there's a pretty good chance it's going to start going down, but it's at least probably not going to go up. If I can just keep it at what it's at while I lose weight, that would be huge because my arm would look a lot bigger if the fat comes off it and you can see the definition of the muscle and stuff like that. That would be great. But we'll just have to see. I don't know if I'm going to keep reporting that if it's just the same all the time. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, doing good. Getting there. I know this kind of a video is never going to get a lot of views, but it would be cool if somebody actually sees this and says, okay, this guy is showing exactly what he's doing. This isn't some highly produced video to bullshit me. This is like a real dude doing it, and they'll say, if he can do it, maybe I can do it, because you can. But I'm just telling you, it's not easy. Like, my wife is, just as an example, my wife is like the hardest working person I know. Her work ethic is like, her discipline, everything, so much better than mine. And as a result, she's been more successful in her career than I have and everything. But when it comes to this stuff of being able to basically starve yourself, it's not for everyone. My wife cannot do this. Every time we start and try to do it together, she falls off pretty quickly. This is one thing that I'm fairly good at. So, and that's not, to bash my wife, obviously. That's just to let you know that it is tough. It takes discipline. It takes like kind of like an obsession, I think. Because when I get into this sort of thing, losing weight, it becomes like a big part of my life. Like this is my number one priority. I watch all kinds of videos about working out and dieting and stuff. So I guess the message is, it is doable. Normal people like me can do it. You can do it. But you're going to have to just care so much about this that it's more important than anything else, I saw some quote on a show, and the guy in the show had lost weight, and he basically said, I love food, but I decided I love being in shape better. And so that's all it just comes down to. Like, I love food, man. How do you think I got to be 270, you know? I can inhale a large pizza before you even know what happened. But you just have to want it that bad. And it is doable. And I would really recommend that you monitor your weight loss like I am. What I would do is, this is something I haven't talked about before. I would weigh myself every day and I would write it down, but then I would only take the average for the week. So these numbers I'm mentioning to you, that's why I give you a report every week, is because I'm taking the average of my weight, of my weigh-ins, of my daily weigh-ins. I'm taking the average for the week. And the obvious reason for that, I'm sure you already know this, is that your weight can fluctuate. There can be some outliers there because, like, you ate a pickle and you had more water retention that day, or you didn't drink enough water some other day, so you were, your weigh-in was lower than is really representative. So it's better to take the average for the week. But when you're watching these numbers that closely, it's very beneficial because, one, you'll see when it's not working. Like how I saw when I was stuck on 247 and I knew I had to do something different. I had to start like making adjustments to my diet. But even more importantly than that, I think, is when you see that it's working. Because when you see that it's working, that's what drives you on. If you just go on this diet and you just don't even look at what the results are, you don't even know what's going on, all you know is you're friggin' hungry. Well, if the only feedback you're getting is that you're hungry and your life's miserable, then you're probably going to quit. But if you're getting positive feedback every day, really, on your weigh-ins, but certainly every week when you take the average, then that's what's going to give you the dopamine hit that, oh yeah, this is working. Yeah, oh yeah, this is great. I want this feeling next week. I want to have a positive feeling that I lost another pound next week. So, all right, going along. That's my update, and that's my little piece of advice for you. Welcome comments back. Thanks.